I'm gonna make this easy for you guys. Just get it out of your system right now. Go in the comments, type looking very MM casual on this one. Does MMG even watch NFL games? Wow, MMG's looking so handsome today, and the girth is immaculate. It's the off season. It's tier list season. We're doing wide receivers. Now for wide receivers, we need a different tiering system. We now have S plus and S tier because I don't think 5 tiers works for wide receivers. You need more. Let's start with our S plus wide receivers. I know we got injured, but Justin Jefferson, to me, is the most complete wide receiver in football right now. Honestly, I'm leaving S plus tier just like that. I don't think I'm gonna put anyone else in it. The thing with wide receivers is it's kind of difficult because sometimes you have an amazing wide receiver on a team that just sucks at throwing the football and their stats don't reflect how good they are. But sometimes you're Tyreek Hill, you get traded away from Patrick Mahomes, one of the best quarterbacks of all time, and you still put up absolutely dominant, bonkers, insane numbers. The most clear S plus wide receiver to me is Tyreek Hill. I'm putting Jefferson at 2. He's like the most complete wide receiver in football to me. Even more complete than Tyreek Hill. I know he's injured this season. I want to see how he does coming off that injury. I hope he heals up and he's just as amazing as he was. Justin Jefferson's such a stud. All right, let's move to S tier. These are the guys that, they're not quite these guys, but they're still absolutely incredible. Diggs is so good. He's obviously a bit of a diva. And now he's going to be in Houston. So he could have an amazing season, but I can't put him in S plus tier. There was some big drops this season from Diggs. Notably the go-ahead playoff touchdown. My memory's escaping me, but I literally just saw the clip. You guys might have seen that video. He dropped that puppy. If you want S plus tier, you got to catch that ball. He's still incredible. I'm not like fully shitting on him. He's going to S tier, but I think Jamar Chase is incredible too. This is a bummer season. It honestly sucks sometimes. Like your star quarterback just goes down. And now you got Jake Browning throwing the ball to you. It's just not the same as Joe Burrow. This was an off season for Jamar. He missed a game, but he's got 100 receptions, 1,200 yards. Like Adam Thielen has more receptions than him, but I'm not putting Adam Thielen in a higher tier than Jamar Chase. I'm still putting Jamar Chase in S tier. He's insane. CeeDee Lamb goes in S tier too. I actually think CeeDee Lamb might be the closest wide receiver to S plus tier out of any of these guys. CeeDee Lamb is excellent. Obviously, he put up the absolutely insane stat line, but that's also a product of Dallas's offense. CeeDee Lamb ended the season with the most receptions of any wide receiver. He also ended the season with the most targets of any wide receiver. It's basically a volume stat at that point. But what I think is so impressive is Tyreek Hill had 50 more yards on 16 less receptions. That's impressive. So I still love CeeDee Lamb. I think CeeDee Lamb could go S plus tier if he has another season like he just had, but I'm still taking both these guys over CeeDee Lamb. Devontae Adams is a guy who usually I feel like could be S plus tier. You just don't want to be in Oakland right now. Sorry. Las Vegas. You don't want to be in Las Vegas right now. This is just not a friendly spot for Devontae Adams right now. Still an S tier wide receiver. He deserves to be up here with all these guys. He's still so good. He still ended the season with 103 receptions and 1,100 receiving yards, but yeah, he would much rather be in Green Bay with Jordan Love right now. This is where I'm gonna start to piss people off, but I think the last guy I'm putting as an S tier wide receiver is Mike Evans. The list is subject to change. I've had people get really excited and then edit their comment before, but Mike Evans is such an insanely good wide receiver. Every single year, he has the body of work and the production. He gets S tier. If I had to order this too, by the way, the best S plus wide receiver is Tyreek Hill. I think the next best is Justin Jefferson. After that, I'm taking CeeDee Lamb, then I'm taking Devontae, then I'm taking Mike Evans, then I'm taking Diggs, then I'm taking Jamar. I think this order is right. I'm not gonna order it the whole thing, just like the quarterback one. I just wanted that to be pointed out. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. The only thing I would switch is I might put Devontae Adams at 3. Now let me do the most obvious A tier guys that I just couldn't quite put in S tier yet. AJ Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown, so we get 2 Browns, and DK Metcalf. Honestly, the only switch I would make right now, if I really had to switch something right now, AJ Brown and Jamar. Jamar's output this season was not good. It really was not good, and AJ Brown's output this season was very good. I know, I said the whole thing about Jake Browning, but Jamar Chase was at the end of S tier for me. I don't know, it was a big step down for Jamar. And AJ Brown looked really good this season. I'm keeping it like this. Amon-Ra St. Brown had an absolutely spectacular year. He was so sure-handed. He was such a good wide receiver. Put up great numbers. I'm not putting him above any of these guys. I'm not going to be totally biased, but I do think he deserves A tier. DK Metcalf is simply too good, too much of a physical specimen, and too fast to be any lower than A tier. I think what's most impressive about DK's stat line, and honestly a guy like George Pickens, we're talking 66 receptions here, but 1,114 yards. Like 15 or 16 yards per reception on average. I also love to look at this, the longest touchdowns of the season. This is random, a side note, but CeeDee Lamb had the longest with 92. Then it was George Pickens, Khalil Shakir, Gus Edwards, and that's Gus Edwards on a pass, by the way. T. Higgins, Puka Nacua, Darius Slayton. Tyreek Hill. This is even more shocking about Tyreek Hill. His longest was 78, which is still really long, but like, you'd think it'd be longer.
What did he say?
It's about to get a little spooky in here. What's so insane is this tier list is so old that they don't have Puka Nacua. Can we just pretend that this goofy ass looking Rams dude is Puka Nacua? So if someone skipped ahead in the video, they're gonna have no idea why this bum is sitting there. I think that's Ben Skoranek. I don't know who that is. We're pretending that's Puka Nacua. Puka Nacua gets A tier. It's one incredible season. He got a ton of targets and he was a stud. This guy's a beast. I can't give him SRS plus quite yet. I just can't do it. It's honestly the same reason I can't give Amon-Ra anything higher. Amon-Ra had an amazing season, but like one really spectacular season like that, I'm not giving you SRS plus. These guys have multiple seasons of excellent wide receiver play. I'm putting Garrett Wilson in A tier. I think Garrett Wilson is in like the worst of the worst position. Zach Wilson for 2 years is so dog shit, and he's still managing to be a solid wide receiver. I think Garrett Wilson, you put him on literally any other team, any other position, he's so awesome. I'm a little biased because I'm a big Garrett Wilson fan, but I can't put him in B tier because he's been underperforming, quote unquote, underperforming. He's got fucking Zach Wilson by the helm. Can you imagine? Oh, he should have had Aaron Rodgers this season. Oh, whatever. All right, let's get working on the B tier. I'm not necessarily done with A, but let's just get working on it. Gabriel Davis. Gabriel Davis to me is like the quintessential B tier wide receiver. This is a true wide receiver 2. Another way to look at this tier list, this is basically your father. This is an insane wide receiver 1. Any team would be so happy to have this player as their wide receiver 1. Does this tiering ladder make more sense now? Daddy, God wide receiver 1, stud wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, bum wide receiver 2, make a wish. Here's an interesting one. When Tyreek Hill stepped into this offense, Jalen Waddle took a really big aside. I don't know confidently that I could say Jalen Waddle would be a stud wide receiver 1 right now. I feel like last year I definitely would have said that, but I don't know. I'm gonna put him at wide receiver 2 for now. I can't put Zay Flowers in the same tier as Puka Nacua. Putting Zay Flowers right now in B tier, that's still pretty solid for a rookie, but you can't be in the same tier as Puka. I can't put Puka in S, so Zay Flowers getting B. T. Higgins would probably be a wide receiver 1 on a lot of teams. T. Higgins is so good. But now I'm putting T. Higgins in the same tier as Jamar. I think I'm messing myself up having Jamar in A. All right, I'm gonna do it. I'm moving Jamar back up to S so that T. Higgins can be an A. I think T. Higgins is an excellent wide receiver. He's just sharing targets with another excellent wide receiver. Oh, by the way, Amari Cooper, so good. Amari Cooper is such a slept-on wide receiver. I almost want to put Amari in S. Yeah, I almost want to do it. I'm doing it. Fuck, I'm doing it. Amari Cooper is so nasty. I don't want to hear shit about Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper is a god wide receiver 1.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
George Pickens gets B tier. I'm not sold. Oh, I get so much shit for this. I'm not sold on George Pickens. I'm not. I think he's really good. I don't think he's A tier. I don't think I can put George Pickens in the same tier as Amon-Ra St. Brown. I can't do it. I'm putting Nico Collins in B tier. This is also going to be a little frowned upon. He has really good stats, but I honestly just think that is because CJ Stroud was so good and he was just the guy who was there for that. They signed Diggs, I think, because CJ Stroud wanted a super weapon, and I think we're going to see Nico Collins fall off pretty drastically this year. I gotta put him in B. Michael Pittman's really good, but I'm not putting Michael Pittman in A tier. I'm not doing it quite yet. Calvin Ridley gets B tier. He's inconsistent. Christian Kirk gets B tier. Also inconsistent. DeAndre Hopkins is too washed. I like D-Hop. Many years D-Hop is up here, but what's his output been recently? DeAndre Hopkins has just lost a step. He really has, man. He's such a good wide receiver, but he's lost a step. I'm putting him in B tier. You know who else I'm putting in D tier that's lost a step? Cooper Kupp looks like shit out there. He has been completely dwarfed in one season by Puka Nacua. Completely dwarfed. I'm not going to put him in B tier. I'm going to keep Cooper Kupp in A tier. He can be right alongside Puka Nacua. But this man lost a step. Now, he may not have been fully healed from his injury. If that's the case, I'd love to see him be great this year. But I have a feeling that Puka's going to keep doing this and Cooper's going to keep doing this. I can't believe that his Triple Crown season was this recent, but I can't see him doing that again, or even close to it. This is so hard. I'm stressing out now. Oh, I'm really stressing out now. I don't like this. Chris Godwin? Yeah, he gets B tier. He gets to be right alongside Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk, etc. Ooh, what did you whip up? Holy bust down. Are you kidding me? Look at L just busted down. Ooh, dude, you're goated with the sauce. You're gonna get the big sex later. You're gonna get super mega sex later. Ooh, soy sauce bust down. L, thank you so much. Keenan Allen's getting S tier. Keenan Allen is so good. I love Keenan Allen. You know, Mike Williams? Is Mike Williams an A or a B? I think Mike Williams is an A because I think he would be wide receiver 1 on a lot of teams, but on the Chargers, he was just alongside Keenan Allen, who's awesome too. I'll put Mike Williams in A. Do I have to move somebody else? Maybe Michael Pittman. Could Michael Pittman go A tier? Adam Thielen, B tier. Lockett, B tier. Devonta Smith gets A tier. He's a dog. Kadarius Toney does get D tier after this season. I'm not even just like being a dick and playing on the meme. He actually was so bad. Valdez-Scantling can go C. Sky Moore can go C. These guys are so unbelievably mid. They just won a Super Bowl, by the way. Alec Pierce is B tier. Jared Judy's look like shit. I'm giving him C tier. I hope he has a better season. I hope he just hated Denver. Quentin Johnson's look like shit. You get C tier. You're not down here quite yet, but you look like shit this season. Juju looked like shit this season. Sorry, Juju. I love you. Lazard's ass. Odell's still B. You're testing me, Odell. You're losing step 2. Deontay Johnson's actually really good. I'm gonna go high B tier on Deontay Johnson. I really like Deontay Johnson. High B tier is like Davis, Johnson, Waddle, D-Hop, Zay. Oh God, this is so hard. McLaurin has lost a step. He gets B. I'm not putting you up there with the big boys. Maybe lost a step's not the right word, but I don't like McLaurin as much as I used to. Who are these homeless people? Is this Jalen Hyatt? You get C. If you're a Giants wide receiver, you get C. You guys are just not good. Maybe on a different team, I could see your potential, but I just can't see it quite yet. I actually really like Cortland Sutton. I'm gonna go Cortland Sutton B tier, assuming that's Cortland Sutton. DJ Moore is A tier. DJ Moore is excellent. Chase Claypool is getting C. He deserves it. Who do I really put, like, realistically, who do I put down with Kadarius Toney? Like, who is that bad? Nobody's that bad. Addison's a good B tier wide receiver. Let's see how Addison is this season. He could eventually get A. He'll go B for now. Debo's A tier. Debo's A tier not just really as a wide receiver, but just like in general, like as an NFL athlete, you know, because he does so much more than your standard wide receiver does. I actually think Ayuk is A tier too. I think like the way that these guys are used is excellent on San Fran, but like if you just put Ayuk somewhere where he's wide receiver 1 and Debo somewhere where he's wide receiver 1, they're both gonna go just unbelievably off. I think they both have to go A tier. I'll space them out so it doesn't look goofy. Hollywood's a good B tier wide receiver. Hollywood has not played A tier wide receiver football recently. I can't take him any higher. Oh, now we're getting serious. Do any of you even deserve to be ranked? Jaden Reed is okay. Christian Watson is okay. I don't think anybody's arguing that these guys should be any higher in the C tier. They fit right along in here. Is there anybody else I even want to rank? Drake London gets B. I'm not completely sold on the Drake London hype. He's good. I'm not completely sold. We need to put a few people in D tier with Kadarius Toney, because then I'm going to look like a Kadarius Toney absolute hater. Like, who deserves to be that low? We're going to throw Greg Dortch. Oh, Olave. I got to rank Olave. Olave's really good. I'll put Olave up in A tier. Olave is actually nasty. Hunter Renfrow can go in D tier. Who else is just super hot ass, bro? I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know who this is. I have no idea who this is. So you can take D tier. Holy shit, this was so overwhelming. Quarterback was so much easier than this. How bad is this? Let me take a good look at this. S plus tier, I'm so happy with. Tyreek and Justin Jefferson are S plus. The best of the S tier is CeeDee Lamb and Devontae Adams. So those are where they should be. Evans, Diggs, AJ, Jamar, Keenan, and Amari in S tier. That's perfect. I would not mess with that at all. Does anybody A tier need to get bumped down or moved up? Amon-Ra, I'm keeping you A. Cooper Kupp, you have lost a step. You are not S tier anymore. I saw the last half of this season, buddy. You are getting dusted by Puka Nacua. And it's not even a knock on Puka Nacua. DK, I don't think he's good enough for S tier. Debo is excellent. Brandon Ayuk is excellent, but no higher than this. T. Higgins too high. I can't have T. Higgins up in A tier. No, he is a step down from Jamar. But Jamar's an S. Shit! No, I'm doing it. T, you're getting B. Smith, Mike Williams, DJ Moore, Brandon Ayuk, Chris Olave. I'm calling it. There's your NFL wide receivers tier list. I won't even deny the allegations this time, man. This was not fun. This was actually really hard. All right, boys. I love you. Thanks for watching as always. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.